What's up, everybody? I am back. There's a hair on my eye. I'm back again this week, and it's time for another movie review. So this week, I'm going to be reviewing Disney's A Wrinkle in Time. Starring Storm Reid, Zach Galifianakis, Mindy Kaling, Oprah Winfrey, Reese Witherspoon, Levi Miller, and Chris Pine. There's all these people in it. Where do I begin? Visually, the movie is wonderful. It is a beautiful, beautiful film. The effects were okay. They weren't terrific. They weren't overly believable. Some of them were better than others, but for the most part, you were able to tell that they were effects. The acting, I found, was kind of subpar, really. The best actor, in my opinion, in the whole movie was Levi Miller, but Storm Reid was really good as well. Oprah's acting, why was she a thing? Why was she an actual thing in this movie? She had constant breaks and pauses throughout everything that she was saying. She was very blasé about everything. There were points in time, like if they had found, like, say, Melissa McCarthy, for example, if she were to take over that role, she would have rocked the role of Mrs. Witch. But because they have Oprah is very just there, kind of. Like, I found Reese Witherspoon overshined her, for sure. Because she was more, like, outgoing and more exuberant and whatnot. Oprah was just very laid back and just kind of there. Mindy's character of Mrs. Who was very boring. She didn't do anything. All she was doing was quoting other people's things that they have said in life. The storyline of the movie was okay. It was a simple storyline. Guy goes missing. Kids need to go find him with the help of these three things. And that was about it. That was as much of the story that they had going for them, really. There were points, because this movie, yes, it's fiction and fantasy, but because this movie was also having an underlying background of science, you would have thought that they would have had something to kind of back that up and make everything believable. But they didn't do that. They had one aspect of the whole sciencey film that wasn't working, and then they found the missing component, but the missing component was not scientific and didn't make sense in order to make this science thing work. So I found that was kind of dumb. Like, if you're going to involve science in a movie that's a fantasy, at least make sure that it's still following through and not, oh, well, it's this reason. The costumes I found were They looked ridiculous. I mean, I kind of understand that they were supposed to, but, like, they looked ridiculous. Mindy's Mrs. Who character had this weird, like, up here was tight, but then her hips were, like, out to here, and she's, like, running through a field with flowers and everything. I'm like, you're gonna fall. You were going to fall. You're going to fall. She didn't fall, but she should have, like, I'm pretty sure she probably fell a couple times when actually filming that scene, because that looks like it was so difficult, and she looked uncomfortable wearing it. Oprah, in all of her costumes, just stood there because she could barely move in them. The only one that was more flowy and had more freedom was Reese Witherspoon, and her character was constantly moving around. The pacing of the movie was okay. It could have been better. Sometimes it was a little too fast, sometimes it was a little too slow, but it was all right. The editing of the film was terrible, though. There's one scene where Levi Miller's character, Calvin, he has this, like, jacket with a red shirt on. Then he's going, whatever. And he takes off his jacket. And he's like standing talking. And then the next scene, like immediately goes from that cut scene there to another one. And he's wearing his jacket again. It's like, okay. And then, so that scene in the trailer where you see him falling. Mrs. Who, like, takes off his jacket for whatever reason, because that's apparently going to help him. She just takes off his jacket, and then she's holding it, but then he doesn't have his jacket for the rest of the movie. And he's just in his red shirt. Then, they get, like, they're, like, washing up or something in a stream, and he takes off his red shirt, and he's wearing a gray shirt underneath. And then he's in the gray shirt, and near the end of the movie, they're in, like, this dark area, and he leaves. And when you see him again, he has his red shirt on and he has his jacket on. How did you get them back? Last we saw, your jacket was left in a field by Mrs. Who, and you threw your red shirt into the stream. And now you have them both back? What? The camera work was awful. They had, like, the camera was very shaky for most of the movie. If they were, like, doing, like, a pan, it was basically like someone had the camera and was just going the entire time. It's like, have a steady hand or get one of those devices that actually are able to move. Like, we have this technology. Disney, you're a huge company. You have the money to afford this. Get this. There were so many unnecessary close-ups of people. It was literally like, oh, well, what did you do today? And then the camera's right here in front of the next person's face, explaining what they did that day, kind of a thing. And I get that we're trying to go for more of a dramatic experience with that, but it was, like, stupid. Like, it was so dumb. And you're with your camera, if you're gonna make a 3D movie, make sure the 3D is good, because there were times where if they were not in the middle of the screen and they were off to the side, there was 3 of them, even with wearing the 3D glasses. It basically looked like off to the side, I was not wearing my glasses at all. Then the main antagonist of the movie doesn't even show up. They have this huge... First off, the name of the main antagonist was terrible. They called it The It. What? Oh, the It is doing this. The It is doing this. The It is doing this. You couldn't have thought of another name aside from The It? Awful. And then they don't even show up. It literally is just like a manifestation of nonsense that takes over. I don't get it. And then you have the little boy, Charles Wallace, played by Derek McCabe. What can I say about him? Well, annoying, in a word. He was very shrill. He was constantly yelling. His character was just unbelievable as a whole. He was too young to know about all the stuff that he knew. There's no way anyone his age would have known what he knew in this film. At all. Like, not in any... No, not at all. Sorry. And he had this, like, one key element to him that all of a sudden, like that, in a few seconds, gets taken away from him by counting numbers. What? How? That makes no sense. No sense. And on top of this, why can you not call him just Charles? Why? Throughout the entire film, they're looking for him, they're addressing him in any sense of the way. Constantly. Oh, Charles Wallace, can you do this? Charles Wallace, come here. Charles Wallace, where are you? Just call him Charles. Or Chucky. Something. You don't need to say Charles Wallace every single time. It's annoying as fuck. Took up too much time just to say Charles Wallace. Frig off. There were scenes in this movie that were at the end of the movie that they had showed in the trailer. I'm not going to say which ones, but why are you showing the end of your... There were 2 scenes near the end of the movie that were in the trailer. Like, why are you showing those scenes in the trailer? Don't show your ending in a trailer. With that, there were many scenes and some lines that were in the trailer that were not in the movie, and I will show you them now. These are not in the film. Chris Pine doesn't run like a crazy person. The following is not echoed.
Are you lost?
This whole entire sequence right here explaining about how they can wrinkle time instead of bending it is not in the film with this ant, this string, nothing. These are not said, period. Mindy does not do this, and these 3 don't do this. This encounter doesn't happen like this at all. He doesn't show up here. Not sure what's happening here. There's another line that Reese Witherspoon says in the trailer saying,
"This is my favorite planet in the entire galaxy. No offense to Earth."
Why are you putting things into your trailer that is not in the movie? Fuck off. It pisses me off. You don't need to do this. Don't put things into a trailer to amp up your movie if you're not going to have them in your movie. Like, stop. Stop doing this. All movie companies, stop doing this. But yeah, that's about it. If you want to go and see this movie, don't go for the storyline. Don't go for the acting. Go for the visuals. The visuals are really good. As I said, if you can try and see it not in 3D, do that. Strongly suggest doing it in just like a 2D movie because you'll save money and the 3D is not that great. Overall, my rating for this movie is a D+. Really, the only thing it has going for it is the visuals and Levi Miller's acting. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this movie review. As I said, go see the movie if you want to see it visually, not for storyline, not for acting, not for the editing. Just for visuals, go see the movie. Other than that, wait. If you really want to see it, just wait till it comes out. It's eh. But if you like this review, make sure you give it a like as I show my washed out hands. Make sure you leave some comments down below letting me know what movie you want me to review next. Let me know what you thought of this review. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you follow all my social media accounts. Don't forget to go over to my other channel, which is Super Frown. You can find the link down below. And I will see you next week for another movie review for Love, Simon. See ya. Ha! My life is a party, my home is the club.